Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Jai Hind, Namaskar. So, I hope I am properly audible and visual to all of you. Good evening. So, I hope all of you are doing well and your preparation is also going on in the right direction. Good evening. Okay. So, I welcome you all to this session and today the topics which we are going to discuss, let us see the topics which are there. The first topic is related to the remission power. There is recently an article which is about whether the governor has this final say in the case of remission, in the case of pardon or not. So we will first try to see what are the different terminologies, like pardon is there, remission is there, reprieve is there, respite is there. So we will try to see these terminologies and then we will also look at this, that who will have the final say. Will it be the cabinet or will it be the governor who will have a say in case of a decision on respite or remission or anything? Now, second part is the Artemis mission. Artemis mission 2.0, it has been launched by NASA. So we are going to see this, that what are the main components of this Artemis mission. Third one is LNG versus LPG. Now, this is one of the topic which has been going on for some time, We will try to see from this angle that one part is the chemical composition, the other part is its availability, the existing state. So we will try to see all these components in this article. The fourth part will be related to dengue and a vaccine for it called as Qdenga. So we are going to discuss about all these topics, but first let us start with a question. So here we have the first question. Any Eurasian country can become a member of NATO. Second is saying all members of NATO contribute equally to the military budget of NATO. So which of the statements given above are correct? That is the question. Which statements are correct here? Good evening. D option. There is one answer from Saurabh that it is D answer, A answer. Good evening. So now if we look at this, any Eurasian country can become a member of NATO. Just look at this. Just look at this part, that if we talk about any new Eurasian country, if we look at any Eurasian country, if they have no such a stake in the North Atlantic region, like suppose if we talk about this, can China join it? Can Vietnam join it? Can Singapore join it? The answer is no. So it is not open for all the Eurasian countries. All members of NATO contribute equally to the military budget of NATO. This is also incorrect. There is no such equal contribution from all the members. There is no such equal contribution. It is mainly contributed by US, and then other countries are also paying a sum of their GDP. Like it is proportional to their GDP. It is proportional to their GDP. So here we see that the correct answer will be option number D. Indian Meteorological Department has recently completed 100 years of its establishment. It has launched Bharat Forecasting System with a resolution of 12 into 12 kilometer. Panchayat Mausam Seva portal has been launched by IMD to provide weather forecast at all levels. So what will be the correct answer here? Good evening. B option, D option. Okay. B option, D option. Okay. Why did KGS current affair magazine not coming since 2 months? This is a question from Vladimir Putin. Like, one of the reason is you also. Like, you have created so many interesting news articles across the world that it is getting delayed. Now, if you look at this, Indian Meteorological Department has recently completed 100 years of its establishment. That's first one is incorrect. Okay. Second part, we have seen that it is 150 years which has been completed. It was established in 1875. It has launched with a resolution of 6 into 6 kilometer, not 12 is to 12. This is a remarkable change. That's why you should be aware about the facts. So second option is also incorrect. Panchayat Mausam Seva portal has been launched by this to provide weather forecast at local level. The third option is correct here. The correct answer will be option number A, that is only one. Okay. Now, third part is most of the orbital debris are located in geostationary orbit. Second is saying most of the orbital debris has been created by developing nations due to lack of reusable launch vehicles. The orbital debris cannot be removed from their orbit. Okay. Sorry, here the option will be none. Here the third option will be all three, and fourth option is none. I am preparing for 28 attempts. So can I see it yet? Yes, Sanjeev, you can start watching it now. D option. D option is there. Most of the orbital debris are located in geostationary orbit. This one is incorrect. You may be aware that we have most of them in low Earth orbit. So this one part is correct. Most of them has been created by developing nations. In our last session, we have seen that it is not by the developing nations. We have seen Russia is there, US is there, China is there. They are the major creators. So it is not mainly the developing nations. The orbital debris cannot be removed from their orbit. This third part is also correct. They can be removed from their orbit. That is one of the benefit here. So that's why the correct answer will be D option, that is none. None of them is the correct answer. Rain has broken the record of 134 years. That's interesting to know about. Like, you see, we are having unexpected rainfall in the month of April. Why? There is a sudden change due to western disturbances and everything. So this is the impact of climate change. This is how the pressure belts are changing. This is how the global circulation is changing. That at any point of time, the rainfall may be there, torrential rainfall, and other parts of the, or you can say that in the other time of the year, it can be very much dry. So some of the months are becoming quite dry and some months have got torrential rainfall. So this is one such impact of climate change. Yes, of course, Shankar, I would be there on Sunday. Yes, yes, Vladimir, the team is already working on it. It is refining it to produce a much more better version of it. It is refining it to produce a much more better version of it. So just stay like for a little bit longer. You will get a much more refined, much more better version of it. Now, coming to the next part, remission power, prelims polity. Okay. Now, if we talk about the syllabus linkage, you may have read about this in polity. In the polity paper, you may have read about the pardoning power of governor, the pardoning power of president. Second thing is, if we expect the question nature from this topic, the question can be there in prelims exam. If we talk about this one article, the question can be here in the prelims exam related to this one topic, the pardoning power of the president or the pardoning power of the governor. Now, what is the context of the article? These are the portions, but what is the context? What is the context of this article? Why this article is there in the news? It is related to a judgment of Madras High Court. There is a judgment of Madras High Court, and the full bench has said this, that if there is a discussion over this, that a person who is convicted of a crime, if he or she is getting any remission, then whose decision it will be? Will it be the decision of cabinet, or will it be the decision or the discretionary power of governor? So now if we talk about the pardoning power, if we talk about the pardoning power, so there are multiple such things. Like there is one term called as pardon. There is one term called as pardon. There is one term called as remission. There is one term called as reprieve. Okay. There is one term called as commutation. And one term is there called as respite. So can you first tell me about this one part, that what is the meaning of these terminologies? What is the difference in case of pardon or respite, reprieve? What is the difference here? Can you tell me about this? What is the difference in these cases? What is pardon? When we talk about this pardoning power, pardon is like a complete relief. This is like a complete relief from the sentence also, from the conviction also. That a person has got a complete relief, that is called as pardon. So this is about the complete relief. This is about the complete relief from sentence also. The sentence will also be gone, plus conviction, everything will be gone. So that is what we call as this pardoning power. Pardon is pardon is not apologize. Here we are talking about the pardoning power of the president or the governor. Let me explain it to you. Suppose that there is a person A. Now this person A, he has committed a crime. He has committed a crime. The judiciary, they have found him guilty. They have convicted them and have given that person a sentence, a punishment. That the person has been given a punishment. This person A has committed a crime. The judiciary has found him guilty. He has been convicted, and then what we see, that the person has got a punishment. Now that person can either go for serving that punishment, or can ask governor or president. So what they can ask for? They can ask for this part, that give us pardon or remission or reprieve, commutation or respite. So these are the parts which are given here. They can be given pardon, they can be given a remission, they can be given a reprieve, respite or commutation. So pardon means the person will be declared that he is not convicted also, and all his sentence, means all his punishment, will be over also. Okay. Now second part is, like say, commutation. So here we see that it is changed to a lighter form. Let us say that to change it to a lighter form, to change the punishment, to a lighter form. Like suppose that a person has been given death punishment, that a person will be hanged. So his death punishment can be changed to, let's say, like 20 years. 20 years of jail, that he has been given a jail of lifetime or 20 years of jail. So now the sentence has been changed. The person remains convicted, but the sentence, the punishment has been changed from 20 years, from the life sentence, from the death sentence to that of a 20 years of a jail. Okay. Then there is one thing called as remission. Suppose that a person has got 20 years of jail. So under the remission, it will be, let's say, changed to 15 years. The person is still having jail, but instead of 20 years, the person has been given a jail of 15 years. So without changing the nature, there is a change in this part of, the duration of the sentence. So that is what we call as the remission. Now there is another part, okay, a person can be given a respite also. So what is this respite? Okay. What is this respite? Respite is like to change it in a lighter form, okay, or like a lesser sentence due to a special case. Okay. So here we see that lesser sentence due to a special case. Let's say there is a person A. Now he is suffering from cancer. He is having a jail term of 20 years. And he has completed, let's say he has completed 16 years. There is a person A, he is having cancer, he is having a punishment of 20 years. Usko jail mila tha 20 saal ka. He has already completed 16 years and now there is a special case that the person is suffering from cancer. So in this special case, his sentence may get reduced or he can be given a relief also. कि चलो 16 years में तुम्हारी sentence over. Or if a woman is there, she has got any such problem or any such other challenge, so then again she can be given a respite. Okay. Then we have one term called as reprieve. So what is the reprieve? Reprieve is like to stay the sentence for a period of time. A person has been given a jail, but there is a stay on the execution of that sentence. That the sentence will be there, but in this case, the person will be given some time. Like he will not be sent to jail at that time, he will be given some time. So that is called as reprieve. So stay on execution of sentence. So this is the power, this is the pardoning power of governor or the president. वैसे तो आप पॉलिटी में पढ़ते हो, you read about this in polity, but again since this was there in the news, so I am giving you a basic of it. Governor can do it in cases of state related law. Governor can do it in the case of state related law. The president can do it in case of union related law. Now again, I will be giving you one task. There will be one more task for you from the polity section. Reprieve, अब आप देखोगे तो it is sort of type of parole, but it is not exactly like parole. It is more like the sentence has been stayed by the president or governor for some time. Parole is something which is awarded by the judiciary for a certain period of time. Only for a certain period of time. But this reprieve is something which may be for longer period of time. So that is the difference, that who is issuing this order, who is issuing that order, that is also one part. Now what is the question? Who can take the decision? Who can make this decision? Suppose that we have the governor. On one side we have the governor and on the other side we have council of minister. Council of Minister. So who will be taking that decision? Who will be taking that decision whether the person has to be given a pardon or not, the person has to be given a remission or not? So who will be taking the decision? Now, in the case of union, it is quite clear that the president acts only on the advice of Council of Minister. In the case of union, it is quite clear that the president acts only on the advice of Council of Minister. But in the case of a state, you may have heard about that the governor is having a sort of discretionary power. There is a discretionary power that governor can think about or take a decision in some matter by his own individual capacity. So now there has been a challenge related to this part also, that in the case of remission, in case of any pardon, whether it will be a decision of governor or will it be a decision of Council of Minister. So now there were two cases. There were two benches of High Court of Madras. They have given different verdict. One said in the favor, one said against it. So now a full bench was there, and which has said that the primacy will be of this. The primacy. The Council of Minister will give the advice to the governor, and this advice is not simply advice, it is binding in nature. It is binding in nature that governor will have to act accordingly. They cannot take decision by themselves. They have to consider accordingly. So the governor's advice or the governor decision is not discretionary in this case. They have to rely on the advice of the Council of Minister. So I hope that is clear. Any doubt? I hope this first topic is clear, that what is remission, respite and all. Okay. Now, coming to the next part, we have the second thing, Artemis mission. Artemis mission. So tell me, what you have heard about this mission? क्या क्या सुना है आपने इस मिशन के बारे में? The Artemis mission is there. So what all things you have heard about this one mission? क्या क्या सुना है आपने? What all you have heard about this Artemis mission? This is the second Artemis mission, correct? This is the second Artemis mission, that is correct. Now, let's look at this. When we talk about the Artemis mission, okay, this is a mission of NASA. There is a mission of NASA. But in this mission, there is collaboration with other partners. There is collaboration with other partners. There is collaboration with other partners like European Space Agency. In fact, you will find that there is a Artemis Accord. There is also Artemis Accord. Okay. There is one thing called as Artemis Accord. And even India is also signatory. India is also a party to it. Even India is also a party to this Artemis Accord. India is also a party to this Artemis Accord. Okay. So now when we see this, this is a mission of moon. This is a mission of NASA to the moon. But here, what will actually happen? What is actually going to happen? That they are going to moon, they are going to fly by moon, and then they are going to come back. They are not going to remain there in the space. They are not going to be there in the space for a longer period of time. Sorry, they are not going to land on the surface of moon. Rather, what they will be doing, they will be going to this orbit of moon. They will be flying by the moon, and then they will be returning back on the surface of earth. So there is going to be a 10 days mission. There is going to be a 10 days mission, and in this 10 days mission, they will be making some orbits around the earth first. First, they will be orbiting around earth. Then they will go and orbit around the moon, and from there they will return back to the surface of earth. So there is no plan of landing on the moon. There is no plan of landing on the moon in this mission of Artemis 2. So there is no such plan of landing on the moon. If you look at the mission profile, okay, the first mission was launched in November 2022. Okay. This was an uncrewed lunar orbit and return. So first time was there in 2022. In 2022, a similar spacecraft went to the moon. It has orbited around the moon, and then it has returned back to the earth. Now in Artemis 2, this is going to be approx 10-day long mission. 4 astronauts will be going there, and they will be flying around the moon, and then they will be returning back. Okay. So what we see that this is like after 1960s and 70s, this is like after 50 years, again humans are going near the surface of moon. But this time we are not landing there on the surface of moon. We are just having a flyby of the moon, and then they will be returning back. In 2027, okay, there will be the third mission. Okay, so that will be there in Earth orbit of a SpaceX Starship. So human landing system and Blue Origin's Blue Moon lander, they will also be there as part of Artemis 3 mission. Okay. If we look at this, in 2028 also, there will be first landing on the surface of moon under Artemis 4. So Artemis 4 will be there, where there will be actual landing on the surface of the moon. So we don't have to see about that what may happen in future. Why? See, from November 2022, it has taken almost 3.5 years to reach to Artemis 2. There has been a cut in the budget. There has been focus on other things. So what we see that this mission has also been delayed. ये mission भी delay हुआ था. So for the time being, what we have to keep in mind that Artemis 2 is there. It is a mission of NASA, but there is collaboration with other partners also. What is the aim here? The aim here to just go around the moon, fly by around the moon, and then return back on the earth within 10 days. So this is one part. There is an Artemis Accord where India is also signatory, India is also partner. In future, NASA plans to have a landing of astronauts on moon, which may be possible in Artemis 4. So Artemis 3 will again be a test mission, and then in Artemis 4, there may be a planned mission of landing on the surface of moon. Earlier, there was a plan to have a lunar gateway and all other things, but now these plans seems a little bit more delayed. Earlier, there was a plan like what we see that in 2028-27 itself, they had a plan to sending 4 humans to the space, and there was a supposed landing on the surface of moon, but that plan seems delayed also. At the same time, there is another part that they had created a plan that there will be a lunar space station on the moon, but that plan is also delayed. So we are not going to discuss on that part. We are going to just see what has actually happened. The Artemis 1 has been completed, which was an uncrewed mission around the moon. Artemis 2, which has started now, it is a crewed mission around the moon. So we will discuss about this when they are returning back again from moon also. We will discuss this topic again. Now coming to the third topic. Now coming to the third topic. Acha, tell me, do we have a plan for going on moon? Do Indian agencies have a plan for going on moon? फ्यूचर का करंट अफेयर्स कम होने के चांसेस तो हैं. If you are going in 2029, then you will have less current affairs. Okay. Because right now the international related news articles, they have become the major theme of current affairs. So what is the plan of India for moon? What is the plan of India for moon? हमारा कब तक का प्लान है? We are also aiming to send humans to the moon. हमारा भी एम है कि we will be sending humans to the moon. But by when? कब तक हम इसको अचीव करना चाह रहे हैं? By when we are trying to send them to moon? 2049 या 2040? 2049 or 2040? नहीं, it's not possible in 29 or 30. We are going to have a Bharatiya Antariksh Station by 2035, and we have an aim to send humans to moon by 2040. So our aim will be around 2040, not 49. Our aim would be around 2040. Now coming to this one thing, LPG and the LNG. LPG, LNG or CNG or PNG. In this we say that the propane and butane, propane plus butane, that is the major composition of LPG. And here we see that natural gas, that is methane, that is the major component of LNG, PNG and CNG. So now what we see that in case of LNG, it is called as liquefied natural gas, then compressed natural gas, piped natural gas, etc. But in this case, it is natural gas, that is methane. Now we are going to see the comparison of this, कि how many people are using this and how many of them are using LNG, how many of them are using the LPG. So now see, India has got around 33 crore LPG connections. India has got around 33 crore LPG connections. In case of piped natural gas, the number is around 1.6 crore. So as of early 2026, India has got near about 1.6 crore PNG connections and near about 33 crore LPG connections. Now if we see that the domestic natural gas production, it can cater to 30 crore connections of PNG. So government is saying that suppose right now if we are having 30 crore PNG consumers, then also we will not have to depend upon the import. Government says that, Ministry of Petroleum says that if we are having 30 crore consumers of PNG, still we will not need to import the gas from outside. We can cater to the need of 30 crore households using our domestic production. This is one of the part. Now see here, when we talk about LNG, it is stored at minus 160 degrees Celsius. This is something which I have explained you earlier also. It is stored at minus 160 degrees Celsius. Okay. If we talk about LPG, this is a product of oil refining and natural gas processing. So it consists of this propane and butane and it is bottled in cylinders. So it is in a liquid form at less than 40 degrees Celsius temperature. It is in liquid form at less than 40 degrees Celsius temperature. So we see that This is bottled in cylinders and it is going to be physically delivered to the consumers. So right now, if we look at this, the natural gas import, this is around 27 million ton. Okay. And production is also roughly the same. Means half of our LNG is produced in the country, half of it is being imported from outside. So we are producing half of our LNG and half of our LNG is being imported from outside. But do keep this one thing in mind. Government says that right now we are having just 1.6 crore connections. Even if we are having 30 crore connections of PNG, still we would be able to supply them by our domestic production. It means we are not using our total capacity as of now, but supplying the PNG to 1.6 crore consumers is not a challenge in the present times. It's not a challenge in the present times. Now see here. Again, one more part is this. LNG, it has got many more sources across the world. For LNG, we are not even worried about this, that LNG will come only from West Asia. LNG can come up from multiple sources, and government is saying this also, that within the next 1 to 2 years, there will be multiple venues from which the LNG can again be imported. Now, one more part. If we talk about LPG, so here we see that around 60% is imported from outside. Around 60% of our LPG, the refined one, is getting imported from outside. We are also having our own refineries. They are meeting 40% of the demand. 60% is coming from outside. Remember this one thing, that 90% of our imported LPG is coming through this Strait of Hormuz. 90% of our LPG at present is coming through this Strait of Hormuz. And what we see that Saudi Arabia and Qatar, they are the major suppliers of cylinders or LPG to India. So LPG which we are getting, it is mainly coming from Saudi Arabia and Qatar. 90% of it is coming through the Strait of Hormuz, the same strait which is impacted by Iran, US and Israel war. So that is the challenge for LPG, and LPG don't have too many sources. LPG is mostly coming through these areas. If we are getting LPG from Russia, if we are getting it from US or other countries, then the problem is the cost will be higher. The cost of LPG from all these nations will be higher. In case of LNG or in case of the PNG or CNG, the problem is not so much. We can get it from local sources. We can get it from the nearby areas. There are multiple venues, multiple sources of LNG. So this is the second part. Now, if we talk about the usage comparison, that which one is better, which one is not. If we compare this, natural gas, it is lighter than LPG. Natural gas is lighter than LPG. LPG settles down, whereas the natural gas dissipates in the air. So in fact, you will find this. If there is a LPG leak, there is a higher chances of catching fire. But in case of leak of CNG or PNG, there is lesser chances. It is lighter than air. It easily dissipates in the air. It doesn't create that much accidental fire. But in case of LPG, the accidental fire may be higher. Now, on comparison, we see that 1 kilogram of natural gas can deliver more energy than 1 kilogram of LPG. So 1 kilogram of 1 kilogram of natural gas can supply more energy as compared to LPG. But for cooking purpose, if we are using it for cooking purpose, the difference between LPG and the LNG is not significant. The difference between LNG and LPG is not significant. So this is one of the part that cooking purpose, there is no such major difference. Both can be used. If we talk about industries, okay, so in the industries, mainly the welding industries, where we are using the LPG for building and other works, we are using the LPG. There, if we are shifting to this CNG or PNG or other natural gas form, it may be somewhat challenging. There will be a need to recalibrate our equipments. So what we see, LPG is being widely used by MSME for welding and cutting. Okay. So if we look at this, there is a challenge, there is a lack of awareness, lack of technical know-how, which can hamper the adoption of the natural gas over LPG. So if we want to use it for the industrial purposes, there is a challenge. So this is one of the part where it is challenging, where it has minimal impact. Now again, one more thing. Okay. If we are looking to switch, अगर हमने सोचा कि चलो let's give connection to 30 crore people of LNG or sorry PNG. Let's give 30 crore households connection of PNG. So how much time it will take? Just to give you an idea, even if 12 crore PNG connections are met in next 10 years, then also there will be 20 crore LPG consumers in the next 10 years. Okay. So even if we start providing the PNG connections and we are able to provide 12 crore PNG connections in the next 10 years, which is a very much ambitious task, जो कि काफी ambitious task भी है. Even if we are planning to do it, still 10 years later, by 2035, 2036, we will still have the majority of users as LPG consumers. Why? Infrastructure is a major bottleneck. You have to ensure pipelines. You have to get NOC. You have to acquire. The acquisition is challenging. Infrastructure is challenging. Okay. We have got so many areas with improper layout. There is a challenge of obtaining NOC. So all these challenges are there. And even if we are going for PNG connections at a revolutionary scale, then still it will take more than 10-15 years to have majority of PNG users. So this cannot be done overnight. This cannot be done overnight that we can announce that from tomorrow onwards, everyone will start using PNG. Okay. So this is something which is not achievable in just one day or 2 days. I hope this distinction is clear. What is PNG? What is this LPG? How they are different in terms of usage, in terms of their supply? What is the dependence of India on other countries? How PNG can be a better solution? Okay. हाँ, तो पाइपलाइन के लिए रोड खराब कर देते हैं, फिर रोड बनाने वाले पाइपलाइन को खराब कर देते हैं, है ना? That is also a challenge. But in fact, if you ask, in my experience, PNG is much more better than LPG. There is reliability and the cost is almost 1/3. The cost of it is almost 1/3. Okay. Now, if not 1/3, at least half is for sure. The cost is half for sure in comparison to LPG, the actual usage. Now coming to the next part, Q dengue. Okay. There is a problem called as dengue. There is a problem called as dengue. So can you tell me which mosquito is the notorious one, is the one which is responsible for this dengue? Which mosquito is responsible for this dengue? Which mosquito is responsible for its transmission? Aedes aegypti. Okay. So what we see that the female Aedes aegypti, this is the one which is responsible. This is one, the transmission of the dengue is carried out through this female Aedes aegypti, and they bite mostly during daytime. So they are biting mostly during daytime. So Aedes aegypti mosquito, and especially before the sunrise and before the sunset, they are quite active. It seems that they want some early breakfast. You will find that at the time of sunrise, they are quite active. I think they want some breakfast, that let's have some breakfast in the morning first. Maybe they are health conscious. So they are having that early breakfast with human blood. So there is no problem in a normal Aedes mosquitoes. But if there is an infected mosquito, if they are infected with dengue virus, then they can cause the problem. So now what we see, this dengue particularly impacts our bone marrow. It is impacting the bone marrow. Impacts bone marrow. And that's why there is an impact on platelet. There is an impact on platelets. So dengue is something which is having the capacity, to be fatal. It is something which is fatal infection. Fatal infection means it can cause death. So this is a fatal infection. Roop Shankar Pandey. Good evening, Roop Shankar. Hello. This weekend, this Sunday, we will be meeting in Patna. Now here, see this. When we talk about dengue, there is a female Aedes aegypti mosquito. If this is infected with dengue virus, and the one which is biting during the daytime, this is responsible for the transmission of dengue. Now what we see that a new vaccine has come up. A new vaccine for this dengue. There is a vaccine which is becoming famous. The vaccine which is basically called as Qdenga. Now when we talk about this dengue virus, it has various types. It has various subtypes, subvariants. It has got different subvariants like dengue 1, dengue 2, dengue 3 and dengue 4. There are different variants of this dengue. And now when we talk about this one dengue vaccine, so the challenge is, this is not effective against all the variants. It is not effective against all the variants of the dengue. What we see that there are different subtypes, and it is something which is impactful in case of dengue type 2 and somewhat in case of dengue like 3. Okay. So Qdenga, what we see that mostly effective for these two. Mostly effective against these two variants. So it is mostly effective against these two variants, dengue and dengue. In case of dengue 4 and dengue 1, In case of dengue 1 and dengue 4, the impact is lower. Like it is not having that much impact. It is not having that much result. Okay. Now what we see that this dengue, like this is responsible for 48 to 66% of infection. This is like 48 to 66% infection. It is coming from dengue 2. And near about, like if we talk about this one, it contributes to 20 to 30% infection. So right now, if we are having Q dengue, you can see this, that almost like 80 to 90% of infection can be tackled by this Q dengue. Almost like 80 to 90% of infection can be tackled by this Q dengue. But it is not for every other. Again, one more thing, the cost may be up to 12,000. The cost may be up to 12,000. So that is also one of the challenge with respect to this Q dengue. The cost of this vaccine may go up to around 12,000 also. So this is one of the vaccine which is there in the news, which is something which is being projected at global level, that this can be one of the solution for the dengue virus. There is also one of the indigenous vaccine which is under development. So there is an indigenous vaccine also under development. Indigenous. And that is called dengue all. Dengue all. So it is being said that it may be effective against almost all variants of dengue. But yes, it is in the very much early stage. We will have to wait for it, that whether it is effective against all variants or just a few of them. So now we see that vaccines are coming up for dengue. Especially we see that for variant 2 and 3, which are responsible for almost 80 to 90% of cases, for them we are having an effective vaccine. But yes, the cost is higher. The cost for this vaccine is also higher. So this is one update. Now one more thing. Many of you were asking about this. He said, what about the editorials? What about the editorials? That we are not discussing the editorials. And I have been telling you that in the upcoming days, we will be starting something new. We will be starting something for those who have just started preparation for 27, 28. So we are going to start with an editorial session in morning. Okay. We will have an editorial session in morning from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Okay. So we are going to have this session from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. and this is going to start from Tuesday. Okay. So on the same channel, we are going to start with the editorial sessions in the morning at 8 to 9 a.m. And at the same time, tomorrow, like in tomorrow's session, tomorrow we will have a class from 4 to 7 p.m. And there we are going to discuss the places in news. The places in news for 2026 prelims. So those who are like waiting for 26, okay, those who are waiting for 26, so we are going to have a session tomorrow from 4 to 7 p.m. Okay. So we are going to start with this places in news. Next Saturday, we will come with another theme. And yes, just after 1 week, we will also start revision of GS also through PYQ and some practice question. So we will start with that from next week, like the coming Monday and later the next Monday. Okay. So let's meet then in the next session. And in next session, like अभी नहीं है ना तो नहीं होगा चलो. Then in the next session, we will start our editorials also from Tuesday onward. Okay. So thank you everyone. Take care and